Welcome back to the Puck Bunker. I'm Rocco Zappia, joined as always by my co-host, alleged underworld boss and bookie, Darren Boyce. And speaking of bookie, and we got a very special futures edition focused on all things in the betting world. And please welcome hockey handicapper and all-around great guy, Gretzky Betsky. How you doing?
Oh, doing fantastic out here. Thanks for that intro, man.
Absolutely. Hey, we've only ever heard good things, except when the picks didn't pan out. But that's not always the way it works. Give our viewers a little background, who you are, where you're from, and where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, you miss 100% of the bets you don't place, so you got to take those risks sometimes. But yeah, Gretzky Betsky. I'm from Zona. Longtime diehard Coyotes fan, and had to move over to Utah and get it down with the Mormons and the swigs and all the dirty sodas over there now. Run Clean Hits podcast, which we've had Rocco on to do the future face-off episodes and some other stuff with our prospect guru Trent. And then you can find me at Gretzky Betskis on Twitter. I do a betting news NHL show every Tuesday, and then another show called Expected Bets 4, which runs a couple times a week. And then I'm a contributor to the Parlay Science Discord. It's a whole thing.
That is a man of many hats, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I've never been able to just do one thing. Like, I used to play in like stupid punk bands and stuff, and I can never be the guy to just be in one. I had to be in like 3 at a time. So I've just continued that.
I resemble that remark, I think. Let's get into it here. We're going to have a discussion here on look, we're going to use FanDuel just because that's easily accessible to everyone on both sides of the border. If that works for you.
Yeah.
Boy, you want to start with the big one? Should we start with Stanley Cup preview or save that for the end?
Sure. No, let's do it.
I think we'll start there. I'm looking to find some free money this year, Rocco. Always looking for free money. So I'm getting into my late 30s here. I don't want to be, doing too much. I just want to sit and gamble on sports here.
Yeah, well, I've never known you to be a huge fan of hard labor here. So maybe hitting a home run with a few bets might be just what the doctor orders. Okay, bets, what are we thinking here? Stanley Cup. Florida obviously won it 2 years in a row. Barkov's out. It's a huge wrench into the betting lines. What's your take here?
Honestly, there's part of me that's like somewhat relieved that he's out, because you look across the league and it's hard to not like them again, especially where they were able to keep the whole band together, get everybody re-signed. And man, I'm sure they're all thinking they're lucky stars that Bennett, Marchand, and Ekblad all came back, because otherwise that team looks a whole lot different, especially if they were missing Bennett. But we are going to see what the Florida Panthers look like, Barkov less. And I have some concerns. I even have concerns if he does make it back for the playoffs of what are we getting out of him? Is he going to be able to be physical or not? This is not a player who's missed significant time ever really in his career with injuries. He's always had some kind of minor ones, but he's, not somebody who's missed the season or half season or anything, if I remember correctly. And I think it opens the entire market up, which makes it a lot more fun. And as far as the West goes, I really like Vegas for your odds. And I think last time I looked, they may be like plus 1,200 or so.
FanDuel right now has them at plus 950. So
okay, so that's dropped quite a bit.
Yeah, they're picking up steam here.
Yeah, and I like them for the conference. I mean, obviously, huge addition with Marner. This is a team who's done it before. This is a team who's been there, 3 times now, or 2 times. I think you can and can't go wrong with putting a little bit, at least a quarter unit or so on them. Dallas, as far as another Western team, is hard to ignore here either. And then as far as the East, I think there's two teams you're getting loads of value on right now, and the top one, as much as I hate to tell you guys from Ottawa, is Toronto, who really was the only team to put up a fight against Florida. And I really kind of like the idea of going really long here with the Devils.
Interesting. The Devils. So the Devils are at plus 1,400 now. Do you think they have what it takes to actually win the Stanley Cup, or is that just a complete value pick?
All right, so that is a complete value pick. Where I would like to lay down more units would be them to win the conference, because if the path is easy enough for a team in the Metro, you just need to win those 7 games at the end of it to get there, right? You're not going to have to go through the gauntlet of the Atlantic here. So if you can take on a wild card team, hopefully it's not Florida, and get out of that, then potentially take on Carolina, who even a Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, Siegenthaler, who else were they missing last season when they took on Carolina? Dougie Hamilton. If the Devils were able to kind of give that team hell for as long as they did, and I know it was only, a 5-game series. They only won one game, but the last game went to 3 OTs or whatever. That team had no business to be in there after game one. Game one, Carolina looked like they were going to just roll right through them. And those games were a little bit closer than you'd like to admit, especially without so many of their stars. I think this is a team that's faster and have way more offensive ceilings than a lot of the teams in the East, especially in the Metro. And if we get more development from Luke and maybe a little bit more from Nemec here, that's a solid blue line. And Markstrom has always been a up and down goalie. If this is his up year, I don't know why we're just counting them out, considering it felt like 2 years ago everybody said they were going to be a cup contender.
Well, I don't mind the idea of the Devils at all. I mean, I'm gonna stay away from the Leafs due to my own personal bias. I just tend not to.
Fair enough.
Bet for or against them just seems to sewer me every time. I'm never happy whatever the outcome is, so it's just not. Just doesn't work out for me. One team I liked actually was Tampa. They were plus 1,100, I think. They had, again, their problem has been Florida. So if we're thinking Florida does fall off a little bit, I don't, in my opinion, I don't see that division being as strong as it was. I mean, Boston's faded. I think Toronto's moved down a little bit. Do you see any value there with that pick as well?
I don't mind it. And we know Vasilevsky is maybe the best playoff goaltender in the past since the millennium change, right? The Mr. Closer, if you will. How many times has he finished Game 7? I think it's been maybe every single one he's ever faced, something like that. It's an insane record. I get worried about the age of a lot of those guys, though. That's my only concern. And I guess to me, I would rather take Tampa to win the conference than to win the cup over Toronto and Jersey. Granted, if they're all in the cup finals, you win the conference. But I think the Devils and unfortunately Toronto have a better shot of finishing off an Edmonton, Dallas, or Vegas team than Tampa to me.
Yeah, and great points there. The divisions is where you can kind of get it to be wide open, right? That's where you can kind of a lot more options available. There's, like you said, there's kind of 3 or 4 serious teams to maybe come out of the conference here. But in terms of your division winners, you spoke about Toronto here. Obviously, they're plus 290 to win the Atlantic this year.
Hate it. Hate it.
And
you know what I like?
Tampa's plus 195. What would your choice here be?
Right here.
The Ottawa Senators
right here.
plus 700.
That's 800. Yeah. Yeah. Give me the best goaltender outside Vasilevsky in that division. Give me a younger, hungrier team to push and win more games to prove themselves. I like the idea of the Senators shocking everyone and winning that division with Florida not being in the running there. Again, that is a little bit more of a long shot. If you want to go safer, I would take Tampa or Toronto, no problem. But I absolutely do not mind hedging at Ottawa here because of that value. And if you're getting at Tampa or Toronto at plus 200, if you pick two of those, I mean, honestly, depending on how you split up your unit, you could be up money no matter what, right? I just really like that idea of the Senators finding a way to close out the division. And it's just, it feels right.
I would obviously, as a Sens fan, be completely thrilled with that result. But at a certain point, like you mentioned, certain teams are getting older, and the guys in the Sens core are they're now in their age where they're all either entering or already in their peak years here. So something's got to give at some point. And I'm not going to disagree with a brilliant pick like that.
Yeah. Well, and they've been together for so long now. If you look at last year, Tkachuk had 55 points. That was 25 points or 28 points off of his career high, which I believe was, do 55 plus 28. You can do the math. 83. Stutz was 79 points last season or so, and he was a career high 90. I mean, this is an offense that took a step back. Is that what this team is, or is that just means like what goes up must come down at some point here? And if it all happened at once, man, this is a team that should be taking a step forward. And you got Ridley Greig, Pinto, who are all coming in to their own. They are finally hitting their prime. Cousins, who is now finally on a good team, but being able to be a true 2C. I like the depth. I like the depth at defense. Sanderson had his welcome to the NHL. You're a star party last year, but now he gets to be a quote unquote kind of vet. I don't know. Olmark has won the Vezina before. This is to me a very, very complete team.
Well, listen to the man. They're going to win the division. It's easy money. Easy money.
I just think, and at plus 700, like 7-1 odds here, I can hedge, no problem with that.
It also sounds like you don't believe the Buffalo Sabres really have a chance of winning that division as well. Kind of caught a stray there. Okay, so we'll move on to just some of the other divisions. Any other kind of divisional bets that you're really liking here as the year starts?
I don't think there's as much value in the West. I think things are a little bit more settled in there. I don't think things are quite as unruly as what could happen in the East. I mean, I don't want to be betting against Dallas, just like I wouldn't have wanted to be betting against Florida had they had a healthy team. God knows what Edmonton's going to do. I mean, they could go 0-16 to start the season and still make the playoffs. So I'd rather wait for prices to get better if I want to make an Edmonton play, period. I think one of the bets I think may shock some people, and I think you can get some value on, is LA to miss it and Vancouver to make it. And if you combine those, you're going to get some decent value, because if LA misses, Vancouver is making it, right? Like, one thing is happening and the other with complete correlation to the other thing happening. I don't think there's any way the Central doesn't send 5 teams.
That's huge. Do you think that they would let Kopitar play his final season without a playoff game? Do you think that's in the locker room there? They've been so steady, and I know LA hasn't been necessarily a true contender, but they've been so steadily in the playoffs for so many years, it seems.
Yeah.
And you're thinking now, what is it about Vancouver that makes you think that they could jump back in, or is it just more so regression in LA?
Okay, so it's a little bit of both. I mean, a team that sends off Spence and replaces him with CC and Dumoulin is not boding well to me. And honestly, any team GM'd by Ken Holland in this day in the 2020s does not bode well for me. You're still relying on Kemper, who is, gosh, I'm still older than him, but not by much. And Forsberg, and that, this is a team that's been piecing together goalie tandems. Don't forget Phoenix Copley or whatever it was going to be their next guy, and then he just disappeared. This is a team that has good structure, and they can make goalies look better than they are. This is a team where I think the offense has stagnated. I don't think you can say it's improved. You got Kuzmenko now, and he had a hell of a end of the season, but I don't want to bet on that happening again. And I just don't know. I think if I want to gauge it off of a team who's got some more dog in them, it's going to be Vancouver, who has 3 Petterssons and has a lot to prove without JT Miller now, and Quinn potentially leaving if they don't perform.
So you kind of touched on something that a lot of my kind of option bets here were Vancouver related. I think I bet on Quinn to win the Norris.
Okay.
And that's assuming they have a better year. If they make the playoffs, that probably seems that A, means he's healthy. B,
and put up 100 points.
Has a good year.
Yeah.
And I also bet on the over, it was 89.5 points. And that was kind of, again,
easy.
Yeah, they weren't, the implication is they were bad last year. They weren't that bad. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's a public perception on them, though, that they were terrible. I mean, we talked to a Vancouver, media.
They were terrible.
They weren't terrible.
They fucking stunk it up, dude.
The Hawks were terrible. They weren't terrible.
Not sure.
They were terrible relative to expectation.
I think
but the expectation was that they won the President's Trophy the year before. Which is something that's really easy to forget.
Yeah, 89.5 points is very doable.
No idea. Totally.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially in a division with Seattle and San Jose.
Yeah. It seems, and plus, again, we spoke with Jeff Patterson, who was, again, with Vancouver, and they had a lot of internal strife. So we could probably assume too, less injuries, less internal strife. This is probably I think this is a pretty easy line that I'm happy to put a fair amount of my hard-earned money on. So that's just my 2 cents with Vancouver there.
And you know what? Yeah, I agree. And I also actually, now that I say it, and now I'm looking at the odds, to make the playoffs, it's about plus 105, depending on what book you're looking at, right? The over 90.5 is minus 115. I would much rather take the over on the points and then the under that LA will miss the playoffs, because Vancouver could easily hit those points and not make the playoffs. If they miss the playoffs, again, I think it's nearly guaranteed that the Central's bringing in 5, right? And if Vancouver can have 91 points, even 92, let's say, LA makes it as the 3rd Pacific team, and you are down a little bit of money. But if Vancouver makes the playoffs, they are hitting that point total. And then if they make the playoffs, LA is missing it. And then you're getting the plus 200-ish for LA. I need to look it up real quick. Plus 260 to miss. That's a win-win.
That's some good math. That's some good math there.
Yeah. I'll lose a couple bucks if Vancouver misses the play, or it makes hits their point totals and LA makes the playoffs. But if both of those things happen, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how Vancouver could be worse. Like
I don't either.
So especially with Hughes guys playing in their UFA contract year tend to have pretty good seasons.
He was hurt though too. Like their two best D basically were hurt last year. Like their number one center was getting benched and sent home halfway through the season.
If everything went right, if everything went right when they won the President's Trophy, everything went wrong last year. So let's figure out where that middle point is, right? I mean, I understand you lost JT Miller and you lost 100 points there, but
yeah, that's tough. That's tough to replace. But I mean, if the guys don't necessarily hate each other anymore, and you have a much more cohesive room, I think that's helpful.
Yeah. Now it's Evander Kane that I don't know.
So let's go through maybe a bit of a rapid fire round here, and then we can touch on some individual player stuff. All right, boys. I'm gonna do the first half here, and you can do the second half. Anaheim Ducks over or under 83.5 bets. What do you say?
Over.
Bruins 79.5.
Jeez, it's so tight.
They're great lines. They're odds makers for a reason.
Yeah, I won't lay anything down on this, but if they start to sell, it's going under, and I just can't trust if they are or won't, because God, if Pasta drags them to a 50-goal season and Swayman helps them get more wins than they need to, they're not going to sell, and they're going to try to do a retool again here. But man, if they realize what the prize is at the end of this year to be a top 5 pick, that team is going to stink. It's out of my control, and I don't want to bet.
So no, and that's fair. I guess I should have given you over, under, or pass, right? No, because you can only put so much down. You're not going to bet on everything.
It's over, under, and fuck no.
Yeah. That's a F no. Fuck really, no. Fuck no.
Buffalo 85.5.
I love the over.
Love it.
I love the over.
Darren, feel free to share your thoughts as well.
No, he just thinks they're going to have like 87 points. That's fine.
Yes,
I get it.
Yes, totally. And you know what? All right. Here's another angle on Buffalo I love. I don't want to bet on them making the playoffs, right? Because I think it's like plus 260 or so. You know what I want? I want Lindy Ruff to win the Jack Adams. Because if they get to the playoffs, what are the odds of him winning the Jack Adams? It's like plus 2,600. Yeah.
But like, who does Buffalo knock out of the playoffs?
Montreal.
I love it. You don't think Demidov can breathe life back into that second line?
No, we'll see. I don't know if I like.
Wait till we go to the Habs over under here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
so you're hard. You're hard on Buffalo 85.5 over. Cool.
Yeah. Because again, now you just got free points across that whole division with Barkov being out and Tkachuk being out till December. So I mean, I would need to look at the schedule, but whichever Atlantic team outside of Boston that's going to play Florida the most before December. Oh yeah, I think that over is probably mispriced.
So they've got Calgary at 81.5.
Ooh.
Over or under or fuck no?
That's a fuck no. That's very much the same boat as Boston, because man, if Toronto gives them a ring-a-ding-ding about Kadri and he gets shipped, I don't want to touch that. If Vegas calls about Anderson, I don't want to touch that.
I love how wrong Toronto was about Kadri. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
Could have seen that at the time. Just let's in the playoffs.
They would have won the cup by now.
They needed more of him, not less.
You can clip that. They would have won the cup by now. Imagine if they had Kadri and no Tavares. And they figured out like, imagine if they had all that cap money to like
keep Zach.
What were some of the big get Pietrangelo? Yeah, keep
Hyman. Not even get Pietrangelo. Keep Zach Hyman.
Yeah, but they would have had all that money for the defense that they didn't spend on Tavares. And Kadri would have been just gooning people.
Tyson Barrie wasn't the answer. Tyson Barrie wasn't the answer.
A lot of pretty much every move they made was not the answer there. Carolina. Ooh, spicy. 106.5.
That seems insane to me.
Under?
I don't.
Do we have any faith that division can challenge them in the regular season?
I like Jersey. I think I honestly don't know how I feel about the Rangers. Would it shock me if they came out and made the playoffs or were fighting for a spot the whole season and were 10 points better than last season? No. But on the same side, would it shock me if the Capitals had 15 points less? No. I don't know.
Carolina was 99 points last year.
Yeah, that seems like such a wild adjustment. And they were seems good. Like it. Yeah. And all they did was add Ehlers. And Keandre Miller's good, but
pretty good ads.
Sounds like a pretty solid addition.
What's Ehlers' point total? What would you say it is? His career best points on the top of your head?
He's pretty steady in the 60s.
He's steady in the 60s.
Yeah.
How many other players are steady in the 60s on Carolina?
Like every guy they have?
Yep. Yep. I don't think steady into the 60s gets you a game breaker though. And that's the one thing this team doesn't have still.
Is it no faith that Svechnikov can become a 40 plus 50 goal maybe guy there?
Man. I just
he showed it early. He showed it early in his career, but the last couple haven't.
Yeah,
it sounds like this is a no because he doesn't sound very confident either way. This is a no. I'm just going to make the answer for him here.
And then you got Trusty Anderson.
Yeah. So Carolina. So we're just not going to touch that. Don't put your money there. We have no idea. Chicago Blackhawks 69.5. That's really low.
That seems so low.
They're so bad.
They really are, though.
Are they that bad?
And I don't think they've improved. Who did they add?
Have they gotten worse?
I mean, they have a better goalie this year, I guess.
Okay, here you go. I'm using the cheat sheet here. This is what they've added. They've added Burakovsky. That's the only person that's worth noting here. And then obviously they had coaching change.
I'll say
they lost Patrick Maroon,
but
they lost Alec Martinez, who, gosh, I mean, he's not quite as old as me, but he's damn close. They lost TJ Brody. They lost Kurashev, Veleno. I guess what you're banking on here is that Levshinov and Nazar like really, really pull through here, and that Knight is truly a starter in front of a bad team.
You're banking on Knight being sick, is what you're doing.
Yeah,
I have my reservations. I have my reservations with Levshinov, and
Me too.
And I always have. I think it's possible that like in 5 years or less, we look back on that draft and be like, Chicago passed up Demidov. Are you crazy? Which is what my opinion at the time, but I still think they're crazy.
There's a point where you look back and you go, they passed off on Zane Parekh. They passed on Zeev Buyum. They passed on Sam Dickinson. They passed on what was the Russian giant that Jersey got?
Say our guy.
Yakimchuk.
Oh yeah, they passed on. Wait. It's definitely the Coors affecting this. Oh no, I have a brain fart here. What is it?
Yakimchuk.
Yakimchuk. Yes.
Yeah.
Who is going to be just a killer. I like all those guys so much. And Lev Shinov was always that one that was like, the hype made me like him more than I probably did.
I was never super, like, I heard all year long from lots of people pretty well connected that he was basically the top defenseman available, slam dunk. And I don't remember exactly where I had him ranked, but it certainly was not, he wasn't in my top, he might not have been in my top 10. Honestly, I know I had Buem, Perek, Yakimchuk, and Dickinson all ahead of him. And I think I maybe had him ahead of Saleev because Saleev probably won't do much moving and left-handed and that sort of thing. But Levshinov makes some curious decisions at both ends of the rink, and I don't think we're looking at a game breaker the way like a couple of the guys that you mentioned will be. Chicago, look, I don't want to talk bad about a young player who's just cutting his teeth in the league, has hardly played and showed anything yet, but equally they passed up on some damn good players who are going to be difference makers for their teams.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say about this line is you can at least have some fun with this line if you bet the over. Like, again, they don't have to get that much better to beat that line. Like, they just have to be like somewhat better.
They got to win 5 more games.
It's not even 5 more games. It's like 3. Like,
oh man.
Well, they got 61 last year. They got to get to 70 to hit the over.
But then get a couple shootout losses. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
not unforeseen. That if they were, I think they gave up the most goals in the league last year. I mean, they're close to it. I mean, yeah. I mean, if they're mid-20s in goals against, I think they can hit that number. So it's not a bad line. I mean, I'm not going to bet it, but I don't think it's a terrible bet to bet over. I mean, it's 69 points.
No, fair enough. You got Colorado's at 104.5. What do you think of that one there?
Real quickly, San Jose allowed the most goals against. Chicago was 2, Pittsburgh was 3, Buffalo was 4.
Go Sabres.
Which is shocking because you would think Philly would have been at least in the top 3. Hoy. Colorado is man, you're picking really tough ones here. Colorado is at what?
104.5.
104.5. They had 102 last year. I think that this feels like a pretty easy over. The more I think about this, but this was a team that at the start of last season, I could not believe Utah could not dump off Michael Carcone on them because they were so decimated with forward injuries. They have Landeskog back. Who knows what he's going to be regardless of that. It's better than having Ivan on your third line. At least that guy's playing on the fourth, right? Like, and I feel like this is a team that, I mean, they got the second Wood goalie about November, December, because they had to shore up Georgiev being Georgiev. Was it? Yeah.
It was Georgiev,
right? Oh yeah, they had Grubauer before, both G names. Having a second line center again is huge too, and let's not forget Nelson has put up over more goals than we are at age at some point in his career here. I don't know. I think that's a pretty easy over.
Easy over on Colorado. Hammer it.
As long as there's no injuries, obviously here. Like obviously I don't love their depth, but it looks a lot better than last season.
No, there's no doubt there. This is an interesting one, and I almost feel like this would be an easy over as well. Columbus at 84.5. They could surprise some people, but I'll get your thoughts on it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's going to say easy under.
I want to believe. I want Lumbus to be better, if not pushing for the playoffs this season. I guess they were last year. I love so many players on this team. I think having a Werenski ticket for Norris isn't a bad look here. And I would much rather put some money on him to win the Norris than to take the over here. How much of this is the Johnny Gaudreau piss and vinegar? We're going to do everything for this man from last season. You're hoping Fantilli and Kent Johnson take another step up. You could argue that Monahan having a pretty significant injury and missing a third of the season was big, but Werenski hasn't necessarily been the healthiest guy in the world. I don't even know who their backup is right now or who their starter is. Is it Greaves or Elvis?
Merzlikins, yeah.
Yeah, it worries me. I would probably take the over or under here. I'm sorry.
See, this is one where I'm on the other side. I'm on the over here.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I think you can make just as good of an argument for the over.
Yeah, and my reasoning is they could score last year.
It was number 2 at home for goals for?
It was keeping pucks out of their own net that was kind of the issue here. I mean, you mentioned it. The team's healthier. I think they're deeper down the middle. I mean, Charlie Coyle is actually a pretty good acquisition for them. Yes. He's going to be their 3C. Like, that's actually pretty good. Like, that's actually pretty good down the middle. So,
especially because if there's injuries, Monahan can slide, or not Monahan, Jenner can slide over.
Yeah.
Sillinger can slide over. You got like depth.
Well, there's another guy who was hurt last year, Jenner, right? Like, they have guys, like, their lineup's actually solid, barring injuries. I don't mind their D-core. It's their goaltending. Is Jet Greaves actually a guy here? And can he be better than what they were getting last year? Because last year they were awful in goal.
Well, if you look at his numbers last year, he was pretty phenomenal. He won 5 games in a row, I think, to end the year. So their goaltending was awful till he arrived, but his numbers last year are off the page, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But he's, again, it's
is that a flash in the pan, or is that sustainable?
Unfortunately, because he is a goalie, none of us will know. There's no way to protect it. Look at Matt Murray.
No shit. Let's fly through a couple of these here.
Wait, real quickly. Yeah. I think you both have convinced me on the over here. I really do, but I think I'm maybe underestimating Greaves, and I'm a little too concerned with him. And I do think you can get some big step ups from some of these guys. I honestly, my rationale here was Marchenko is taking a step down and maybe Voronkov, but that may not matter if Fantilli and Kent take the step up. You just may get balance. Columbus was number 1 for goals for per game at home with 4.02 average. They were averaging 4 goals at home out of 42 games.
So, like, that's really good. That's a very high number of goals.
This is insane. And they ranked 7th overall. So even if this offense steps back, they should probably at least be top 15, which should help them get past that over.
So I'll add another thing here too. They did that. Like, they were top 10 in the league in scoring, and they had a bottom, like, they had power play in the 20s. So I mean,
insane. Yep.
Like, there's
22, 19%.
It could be. I mean, right. There's 2 ways to look at that, right? They're relying on 5-on-5 scoring, but if the power play gets better, then maybe it's not, maybe we're not that worried about it. So anyway,
yeah,
just a thought. This seems to be one though that's definitely, worth taking a look at. Anyway, we've talked about this one a decent amount.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. It's like, that's not a huge number. Dallas at 106. No. Dallas at 106.5. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points in a tough division. I would probably take the under here because while I think they can get over that, you're taking factors of Utah getting better. I don't think Nashville is going to be as bad as they were last year. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I that was like everything went wrong. We're talking about Chicago maybe getting a little bit better here. I think Winnipeg's probably a little bit worse, but Colorado's a little bit better. Who else am I missing here? Minnesota, probably about the same, right? But I would rather take the under here because you are now saying if there's an injury or two, major injuries, I have money on them not hitting a ridiculous point total to begin with.
Fair enough. Dallas looking like an under, perhaps. Detroit,
just because of the way they said it. Not saying that's a bad thing. They could have 103 points and be second in the division.
Yeah, it's a lot of
the cup.
A lot of points to get. It's a lot of points. They'd have to be 1 point better than last year to hit it, and that's a tough ask.
Yeah,
they were phenomenal.
Crazy.
Yep. They've got Detroit actually lower than Columbus. Detroit checks in at 83.5. Do we think they can take a step this year, or is the Yzer plan kind of bunk?
Oh boy. How many Detroit fans watch this show?
Enough that you can piss them off, and they'll leave some comments, which is good for everybody.
I just don't see how this team's any better than last year. I mean, I thought the John Gibson trade was so bad. What has made this team think he's a goalie that can get them to the playoffs? Trade. You have all these prospects and you have an organization where people think you have a fantastic developmental pipeline here. And I'm sure you could convince some guy you drafted in the second and third is at least worth like what, Dobish or something. Plus you got really strong goalie prospects down the pipeline and you're trying to throw a Band-Aid on it with Gibson and Talbot again. I don't know, man.
Boyce, you're a resident goalie expert here. Do you have any faith that John Gibson can dial the clock back a few years here for Detroit?
I'm not sure. I just don't know if they're really that good. Like
I agree.
I'm not sure it's really the goaltending issue. I mean, again, looking at their team last year, their PK is horrific. It's literally worse than Ottawa's, and we think Ottawa has the worst penalty kill ever. Which they do, by the way. They need to stop playing that stupid diamond that they play.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but like, the hell are we doing? Anyway. So they have a terrible penalty kill, and their power play was one of the best in the league last year. Is it sustainable that power play is going to stay the same? Because they weren't exactly a team that scored a lot. So if they're relying on their power play like that seemed... Like I always kind of equate it to baseball, right? With like batting averages and stuff. Like you kind of regress to the mean here. Like this screams like a regression to me. And so I'm on the under with them on this one.
That sounds right to me. Fourth for power play percentage, which is wild to me because it sure don't feel like that, right? They had a better power play than Tampa. What?
That might be tough to repeat. We've got the two-time defending Western Conference champions, Edmonton, 106.5. That's a big ass number. Do we think they can get
the
there?
Last time they've done that?
I don't know. They had 101.
Have they done that in the past 3 seasons? I mean.
That's a lot. That's very many points.
Yeah, I here I want to take a look at that, but I mean, my immediate
4 teams,
reaction is under, right? Like
4 teams last year hit that number, 107 or better.
they had 107 last year.
They
Oh, 4 teams did.
Yeah, 4 teams had 107 last year or better. Like 4
I'm
teams would have hit these
assuming
over, and they're not one of them. They were 101.
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that's had 2 seasons in a row where they struggle out the gates. They have now made the Cup finals 2 years in a row and the semifinals 3 in a row. And I don't necessarily think they fixed the goaltending problem, even though I know they picked up Ingram today. I think that gives them a little bit more support here, but
Gives them some depth at least.
it gives them some depth, and it gives them some depth with upside, because I don't think Picard is depth with upside. I think that's a guy you throw in for a playoff game, and he can win you a playoff game.
Ingram's a talented player. He always has.
He is
a very talented and gifted goaltender. If he can, and I'm not going to speculate on anything that went on other than if he can straighten things out that he went away to work on. Hopefully, if they can get his best out of him, that's a guy. He has the ability. I know there's obviously consistency issues with things that have gone on in his career behind the scenes, but he does have abilities to steal hockey games for you.
Yeah.
And you know that being a Yotes fan, right? You've seen it.
Yeah. Yep. I think he had the most. He tied for the most shutouts in that season where he kind of started with I think 6 or more. It feels like this team is going to live or die by Isaac Howard and Savoy clicking, right?
That's an untested basket to put your eggs in.
Yeah,
I agree fully with him here. I think I'm actually on the under on this one as well.
Under.
Yeah.
Okay. 106.5. Now, Florida, obviously the Barkov injury affects this line. They still have them at 100.5. Can they hit triple digits again, even without Barkov?
Maybe a triple digit finish, but man, I don't know. This to me seems like a very easy under.
They had 98 points last year with Barkov.
Yes.
So
they had to check out for everything after Four Nations, but he's also apparently out till December. So
Ekblad was out too.
Yes, that's true. But then they added Seth Jones. Like every time they were missing a player, they're like being able to add to it. So yeah, I mean, Bob's a year older. No, I think this is an under, easy under. That's crazy. That line's crazy to me, actually, the more I think about it.
The Panthers under is the advice. We talked about this briefly already, but LA is at 98.5. Is that an under for you?
I'd rather take them than miss the playoffs at plus 260.
So that's
if I'm able to double my bet, almost triple it, I will rather do that and try to find a way to eke out some value to hedge that. And again, Vancouver over their point total and LA to miss the playoffs to me is such a sweet bet because both can hit.
Darren, you on board with that one as well? I like the reasoning.
No, I love that Vancouver bet. So there's sound logic there. If Vancouver's making the playoffs, they're the team that's coming out. So
we've got the team with the richest man in NHL history, Kirill Kaprizov, the Minnesota Wild, checking at 96.5, which would put them basically on the verge of a playoff spot. What do we think there?
Ooh. I can't lay it at all.
That's a fuck no.
Pass.
I won't touch it.
We're not even touching it.
That line's just so tight.
The line's too good. You guys are too good. The line, FanDuel, come on, give us a break here.
I know. Yeah.
There's
there's no I don't know. I mean, that's exactly where I think they finish, and they still may not make the playoffs with that. No, which is crazy.
We got a boatload of Montreal fans that watch. I think a decent percentage of our viewers do like the Habs and watch them pretty regularly. So I'm gonna ask you for some little bit of depth here in your thought process. Montreal at 90.5.
All right. I'm going to paint a picture here. I'm going to do my Bob Ross impression.
91 points last year. So
they had 91 points last year, and they were 17th in goals for per game. They were 22nd in goals against per game. They had the 21st best power play. Their PK somehow was the 9th best. They allowed the 30th most shots, or I'm sorry, they had the 30th most shots for per game while allowing the 23rd most. I'm sorry, they ranked 23rd in shots against. So that means they allowed the 7th or 9th most. That doesn't sound like a playoff team to me.
Does
they added Dobson. They added all these things. I mean, getting Bolduc for free was insane. I mean, I think this is a better team. I just feel like those numbers are going to regress. 90.5 is tight, though.
Well, it's again just how far does he think they're going to regress, or do their acquisitions kind of counter that? I mean,
it's hard to watch Demidov and not feel that he can have a major impact on this team in year one, similar to how Hudson did.
Yeah, maybe.
He's one of the most talented prospects I've ever laid eyes on in terms of pure talent.
Yeah, but he's potentially playing with
a guy with one of the best shots in the league.
You think he's going to play with
Laine?
He's playing with him right now.
Well, someone's got to get
okay?
Oh, motherfucker, the puck. So, like, if a guy like Demidov can't fix Laine, no one can. So, I think he's a great guy to play with. He dips and doodles and he sucks guys in. He opens up space, and Laine can just float into an open space and touch the puck for 0.1 seconds, and it's in the back of the net. So, it's a neat. It'd be a fun experiment to watch because that's the type of player that could bring out the best in a pure shooter who's bringing basically nothing else to the table.
That is very true. Now, do you trust the goaltending?
So, yeah. So this is kind of what I wanted to speak about here. Well, okay.
It's fine. It's not amazing.
Well, last year, actually, their goaltending was amazing. Their goaltending was really good because they had, again, Montembeault was one of the best goalies in the league in terms of making like massive saves.
Goals above expected. Yeah.
Yes. And
is that sustainable though? Is that repeatable?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's totally repeatable. It depends where that regresses to. But the counter again should be, I think their power play should be better. Like, I think
it's insane that it was 21st. It makes no sense.
Well, they have so many options on their power play now.
Have we noticed that Lane Hudson can shoot the puck a lot better?
Well, this year? Well, again, they're going to use him.
On that. It's obvious.
Sure. I mean,
remember Sider sophomore year?
Lane Hudson he's as talented offensively as they get.
Like right now they have right now Laine's on their second power play.
Well, because he's a dog.
But but again, also like Noah Dobson's on their second power plays. And again, we've had people kind of rip on Noah Dobson on this podcast. But like that's still a really good number 2 power play. Yeah. So they have multiple guys that can play on a first power play here. So they should be able to find a group of 5 guys who can have a top 15 power play. Like they really should be able to. Now, the counter to that is that they are smaller. They're not going to draw as many penalties as some of these other teams. I hate to say it, but that's just kind of because they're not as hard as some of these other teams. So people won't like to hear that, but that's kind of the counter. So it's if their power, can they they're going to regress with their goaltending, and it's not even going to be their own fault. Like, again, the goaltenders can still play great. They're going to regress. Can they counter that with good special teams play, specifically on the power play? That's the question here. By the way, I'm not betting this. I am staying away from
this. Is a fuck no.
Yeah, that's a fuck no.
This kind of feels like that to me too, because everything on paper is better. Everything. This is arguably the most improved team in the entire league from this off season, not trade deadline acquisitions. But those numbers last year to me are like, this shouldn't have been a playoff team. If Jersey wasn't injured, if Buffalo didn't buffalo it up again, like there's so many factors here that it's just like
Boston sold.
Yeah, and they may go deeper though, but well, shit, with Florida being a little hobbled, put it this way. I'd rather take Montreal over on the points than making the playoffs.
Fair. For whatever it's worth, I kind of like the over here. They on paper got better. Some teams around them. Look, take Barkov and Marner out of the division. That's got to be worth a couple points, I think.
Yeah.
You would assume.
Yep.
So I'm gonna I really fucking hate saying this. I'll take Montreal over 90.5.
I will too now that we've talked it out. I don't want the playoffs though.
I'm just not betting it, guys. Good luck to you though.
Fair enough. We really got to rapid fire these if we want to talk about anything other than teams. So I'll get you guys over and unders. We'll talk about a couple teams, Ottawa and Toronto and the Mammoth. But
some of these next ones don't need to be discussed anyways.
Nashville 82.5 over or under.
Yeah.
Or pass.
I would pass. I just have no idea how to judge this team. I really think they were just absolute dumpster fire last year, and I think you potentially can go up from there. But man, I would rather pass. If this team decides to move any of the big pieces, it's done so.
New Jersey 99.5
over, easy.
Boys,
I'm not as confident on it, but again, I don't hate it. Like the rationale's there.
Islanders 84.5
over.
Darren,
not touching it.
The division's too bad. They have one of the best goaltenders in the entire league, and realistically, yes, they lost Dobson, but they're not that much worse.
Well, according to Islanders fans, that's not even a big loss. So
I think they might be selling guys, though. That's the issue.
They may. Yeah, yes. It's just if you're not a super draft fan for the NHL, if you're going to be motivated to sell people that any other year you weren't, this is going to be the year to do it, because this top five is absolutely ridiculous. So yes. Yeah, I won't touch it. That's probably a good point.
The Jekyll and Hyde New York Rangers at 95.5. I want nothing to do with that. They're it's like trying to predict a goalie. They're fucking voodoo. I'm out with that one.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm under. I don't think they have enough lineup depth. They're relying on Zibanejad to be a competent player. I'm not sure he is anymore. They are, and like they're lacking in their bottom six. They're really relying on young guys. I mean, again, we had Greg Kaplan, great guest on the show, watching a Mets game as we're doing it. Not that confident in the bottom part of the lineup. So, I mean, Shesterkin can drag them so far. Panarin's in the last year of his deal. I mean, that screams to me, if this team's struggling, that he is moving.
Yeah.
Ottawa Senators 94.5. That's what say
Easy. Take me to the division too. Plus 800, plus 700.
Easy over.
Ladder it. Give me the over on the points. Give me the division winner.
Darren, are you on board with that? I'm on board. 94.5. Absolutely.
He said it.
Yep.
Philadelphia, 82.5.
Dog
Over, under, pass.
Dog water under.
I'm
Under.
also under.
Under. No love for the Flyers. Pittsburgh Penguins, could they possibly move Sidney Crosby? 74.5 is the line. That's a fucking low number.
Send him to Colorado, please, but I will take the over on that.
Boyser?
It's so few points. Like, I have to take the over on that.
It's so I still look at this team and it's still Russ, Raquel, Crosby, Malkin, Erik Karlsson, Letang. Like, I have a really hard time thinking this is just a complete doo-doo team. And we know Crosby is not necessarily the guy who's just going to say, yes, please send me to a cup contender. Like,
No, and he's not going to mail it in either. 74.5. Only three teams.
Let me do one more Bob Ross impression here. Crosby doesn't leave. This team gets 75 points. He plays his last season mentoring McKenna. Boom.
San Jose, 72.5.
Over.
Seattle, 78.5.
Under.
St. Louis, 92.5.
Oof. Will Bennington have that dog in him without having the Four Nations?
It's an Olympic year.
But is he going to get invited?
Our goaltending sucks.
Very bad.
Getting invited.
Yeah. All right.
He's our starter.
Over. I forgot
Tampa.
about this.
Tampa,
What is their line?
104.5 for Tampa Bay.
I'll pass. I don't know what's going on with Vasilevsky.
Darren, you like Tampa?
I do like Tampa, but I don't know if I like the point total that high.
Yeah.
Over, under, pass?
I just won't bet it.
101.5 for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Over. I laddered it. I laddered point total, division winner, conference winner, cup. I know.
I hate it.
I know. I'll
Put
never
that-
be allowed.
We need to literally just edit that, put that, just that is the entire podcast right there. Leafs
In
are
a
winning,
Senator shirt.
playing the parade, in a Senator's shirt.
I might fucking puke in my mouth.
I'm not betting them. Again, we've already heard from me. Too much bias. I can't do it.
All right, you know your
Give
team
me
back.
Berube for Jack Adams too. Yeah, plus like 5,000 or whatever it is.
Utah Mammoth, 91.5. You should have some
Over.
yeah, Homer.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to hammer your.
But they may miss the playoffs by 1 point.
They may. Vancouver, 89.5. You said you like that a lot already.
Yes. Again, I would rather take them to make the over on the point total than to make the playoffs, and then double that with LA to miss the playoffs because you're potentially.
So I've got a kind of a 3-pack here, like the over there, like the Quinn Hughes with the Norris, like Adam Foote with the Jack Adams, because if they have a good year, this is a narrative-based award.
It is.
I don't actually think this team is that bad. I don't think he has to be that great of a coach. But I mean, if again they're even close to fighting for that division, Quinn Hughes has a good year, he's going to get votes for that award. So and he's a new guy on the block. So there's a possibility here. Just see the narrative could be run here.
They got Vegas projected basically to win the Presidents here. Dallas and Vegas, but same line, 106.5 for Vegas.
I will. That's high. I'll take the over.
They had 110 last year.
Yeah, no, I'll take the over. I'll take the over for sure.
You know what happened? You know what happened there? He heard Vegas and he's just like, screw it, let's do it.
Yeah, Vegas always. Yeah, come on, why not?
Yeah,
Caps 94.5. They're projected for a pretty big regression here.
Yeah, I will unfortunately take the under here. That was a magical run, right?
It was. That was the OV show, and but it worked last year, so why not just do it again? Just keep.
How pissed I would be if I owned the Capitals that Ovi did it in 1 year instead of 2 on his last 2 years. Be like, dude, chill. God, please. Nobody's going to watch this next year. Like,
he'll get to 900,
which is I guess it's just like a matter of how much does he want to pad it or just want to slam it.
Well, he's gonna. Why not try to get to 1,000? Honestly, you're 103 away. He can do it in 3 years. He's obviously going to pump him full of Russian super drugs, and he'll be fine. Like, honestly, he
can do that in 2 years, Rocco.
Yeah,
it's fucking 40, Darren. It's going to sound tall task.
He just scored 44 goals in like 55 games.
I think he can have 2 more goal seasons too in his 40s.
I'm just going to talk to you right now here. I'm actually on the over on this team. I don't actually think they're that bad. Like
the young kids are really good, and that's
they have good players. Like they just don't have any of these star talent. Like they don't have the perceived star young guys, but they have good young guys. They have good goaltending. Yep. I mean, they have Ovechkin's 40. They still have a trigger man on the power play that can literally score at will.
Yeah.
So like 94 seems like a big regression for them.
It is. That's a little harsh, maybe. All right.
Yeah. All right. You convinced me. I'll take the over.
I love it. Winnipeg's our final team, and we'll move on to individual awards. 98.5 for Winnipeg.
God, they set that so tight. Why can't that be 102 or 100?
Because then you'd hammer the under.
Yep.
Now you got to pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Hart Trophy. Who's your pick? And you can go based on odds, or you can go based on Connor McDavid's the best.
I just won't. I won't touch this award anymore.
It's not even worth it, is it?
To me, it's not.
I feel like getting McDavid even at plus 200 is like actually like not horrible.
I'd rather just wait to see if he gets injured.
Fair enough. You could pick him and literally anyone else, and at least you're hedged if he wins.
True.
And then you could pick
if you put a unit on McDavid,
even McKinnon at plus 430 or Kucherov at plus 600. Those are the next two. Those are still halfway decent odds if you can hedge, and you can take McDavid out of the equation, right? With even money at plus 200 essentially.
Can I throw you guys a big like wild card? This is like betting the odds on this guy.
Yeah,
David Pastrnak.
No way.
Because if they make the playoffs, like they sneak in, he's gonna score like 55 goals. Like that's
not. Your best bet is that he gets traded at Edmonton.
Well, that would be
they don't have the cap, but I mean, honestly your best bet. To me, your best bet for Pasta to hit that and win the Hart is for him to get traded to a team that lets him elevate it.
Do you have any interest in like Jack Hughes?
No, I won't touch this award unless McDavid gets injured, and then I'll bet.
I'd sooner bet Quinn Hughes. Coming into UFA year, 40
nobody likes defense.
No, nobody does. They probably don't win this award, but 40-1, no. Fuck. Whatever.
The advice is to not bet it and wait for McDavid to get hurt, basically, if that happens.
Yeah. And don't forget, Erik Karlsson had 115 points on a fucking Sharks team.
Yeah, 100.
How is that not heart-worthy? Like it's insane.
His numbers were juiced though that year, big time.
Sure, but like, what is how much points did the next person put up? 50?
Yeah, well, it wasn't quite that big of a spread,
50, but yeah,
sure.
So let's take a look at. Oh fuck! I mean, we're a prospect show. Let's look at the Calder. Ivan Demidov is your favorite at plus 190. Isaac Howard plus 1,000. Snuggerud plus 1,500. Buim 1,500. Misa 16. Schaefer 17. Down the list we go. I think this is Demidov's award to lose, frankly.
I got Demidov at 260 right around the draft time when it opened, and because of that, I am totally willing to hedge now because I got that value where I can play with it. I do have a ticket for Howard, which I got about plus 1,500 or so. I'm feeling a little uneasy about it. He's better stick up there with McDavid or at least Draisaitl. And I think if you like that, you should definitely throw at least a Coors Light at Savoy because, I mean, this is open to any of them. If one of them just clicks with Draisaitl or McDavid, you got a guy who's next to a 100-point player. Then after that, I really like Buyam too, which I have a ticket for. So I have 3 tickets. I have Demidov, Howard, Buyam. I'm now going to wait 2 weeks into the season to see how Snuggerud does.
Don't sleep on Zane Perek in Calgary.
I don't mind it. I just don't.
They could take that whole thing up. He's the one with the talent to do it.
I don't think that offense can support it.
Fair.
Yeah. So I agree with hedging on Demidov.
Yeah.
I have 2 other guys here. Well, I have one specifically. Nikishin from Carolina is the one that keeps sticking out to me. It's plus 2,000. This guy's a good player. He's already played. They're going to be on a good team. I mean, he might not get number 1 ice. That's probably the only issue here. But I mean, if he's playing big minutes with that team, putting up some points, like the guy could get some votes here. That seems like kind of a sneaky. His odds should be better than that, I think, in my opinion. Now, I actually like your Buim pick as well. I think again, he's plus 1,500. I really like that one as well. I think there's room, again, kind of like Nikishin, that he can play a lot on a pretty good team and get some, really good minutes here. Looked like we lost Rocco for a minute. Yeah. Anyway, I'll give you another one while we wait for him to come back here. I actually like Matthew Schaefer a bit. And my only reason for that is saying if he's going to play at the Islanders, I think he's going to play top 4 minutes with them.
I just don't think he's going to put up the points.
All right.
I just can't see like him being able to put up more points than Buyam.
That
would be the
power
issue
in my house just went out completely. So I've now done a mobile hotspot to my phone. I'm going to participate as much as possible. The connection's not great. Boyce, if you could lead the discussion here, I'll chime in when I can.
Sure. Spooktober has begun for you.
This podcast is great. We just mentioned Matthew Schaefer as an option as well, Rocco. I mean, I think he has pretty high odds there. I think if he plays, he's not staying on the team to be in their bottom pair.
No,
if he maintains on their team all year, he's going to be playing pretty big minutes on that team. I mean, I will say this: their power play sucked last year.
Mm-hmm.
They do have I do think they brought Tony DeAngelo back, who was pretty good on their power play. But I mean, if they're kind of out of it, like I think they might be, like I feel like they're going to be feeding him power play minutes if he's staying on the team. So that's my rationale there. Again, it's a long shot. I think Demidov is clearly the favorite here. I just think there's some options here with these guys. Again, you want to get these guys in situations where they're playing a lot or have a chance to play a lot anyway.
Well, and the fun thing with this year is, like, unlike the Bedard year, you can play with it. So you can get some nice odds on Demidov and then bet live in the season if you want.
Fair. Vezina, do you got any kind of Vezina options that you like here?
Ottinger, baby.
I liked him too, actually. Plus 1,500 is a nice line for him.
I can't believe it's over 1,000.
Yeah.
To me, that seems crazy. I mean, I am betting against a 3-peat for Hellebuck on a team that I believe is a little bit worse. Granted, the blue line's pretty much the same, but I just think, like, if you want to get a guy who has a resume that's good enough on arguably maybe the best roster in the league right now because of Florida's injuries, why would you not?
So I think that is probably, again, he's still like, I think top 5 in odds. So I think that's probably the best guy in that area. I would like to mention a couple guys here that are kind of long shots here. Allmark, Linus Allmark is a very massive long shot here. I think those odds are insane for him.
Won it before, though.
Yeah. Plus 5,000 for a guy who's won it before. He is definitely the starter for the team he's playing on. And as you mentioned, you think that they can win the division, which, again, sounds like the narrative here could be, if they're going to win the division, he will have to play a lot. It seems to be a route that could happen. I don't know how likely it is, but there is a route for that to happen. The other one is Anthony Stolarz, who is also, he is, where do we have him here? I think he was plus.
Now you're working into my narrative.
Yeah, plus 2,700.
Can he stay healthy enough to win that or to be in the conversation? That's the big thing. It's not
that's probably, again, that's why his odds will be plus 2,700 versus plus 1,500 that you were getting with another guy. The point is, Rocco, is if Toronto's good, like if Toronto has a good year, they're not any worse than they were last year. And Wool's hurts, or it's not hurt, but he's out to start the year. Like he plays 60. He got Vezina votes last year, Rocco. So
yeah, well, someone from Toronto is going to vote for their guy.
But you're also mentioning something else. He's in Toronto.
Yep.
So if he has a good year, it'll be magnified.
Yeah.
And there's the perceived notion that that without Marner, they're not as good.
Yeah. And so he would be the reason that
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And he's younger, if I remember correctly.
He's like 29 or 30. He's not young, but he's not old.
Oh, I thought he was younger than that. Yeah, he's 31. Holy shit, never mind.
I
was thinking it was like 26, but
I like Allmark at that plus 5.
I really like that as a long shot.
An outrageous number for him.
Yeah.
Value wise, that's a great bet value wise. I don't think there's any debate there. I'm Anze Kopitar's final year. I'm going to say that he gets a recognition, and I think he repeats as Lady Byng.
There's no reason to not bet on Kopitar for Lady Byng.
Yeah. What are his odds?
On top of that, I don't remember, but I have a ticket on that, and then I hedged it with him to win the Selke.
Yeah, he's getting an award this year, I think.
By the way, that's Selke's plus 2,000.
The Selke award market has not adjusted since Barkov has been out. Not nearly enough.
So there's your bet, Kopitar for Selke.
So I have him for Selke, and then I hedged it with a full unit on Lady Byng because I think he's winning one award. So quarter unit on Selke, full unit on Lady Byng.
Norris? I agree fully on what he just said right there.
I think so
all
too.
in on that too.
Yeah, I would think Kopitar's he's getting something. He's getting something, and there's one that's really easy to give him. Yeah. I mean, both would be really.
Well, Selke, I mean, you can make the argument. I think the smart thing to do with Selke is to get a Heacher or even a Jack Eichel, and then hedge it with Kopitar on both the Byng and Selke. But
Norris, what do we think? Is it Quinn with the going into the UFA year?
It's Makar or Quinn, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think You would think.
I would rather wait to bet in season and let those one of the guy you like more to get the odds better because they aren't in the lead of the 4th points. I'm fine with losing value if Makar. Wait, I take that back. Season starts if you like Quinn more than Makar and the season begins and Makar has more points than Quinn, then you get a better value on Quinn. But even if you like Quinn more and Makar has less points than Quinn, I'd rather bet on Makar at that point. Even if it's against who you like, I'd rather just let the odds get a little bit better because it's it's a 50-50 bet.
Can I throw one out there?
Get hurt. Mm-hmm.
At 30-1, Lane Hudson?
Nah, he's too young.
Doesn't play defense, though. I guess we just talked about Eric winning that award a couple years ago. So
Montreal factor.
Werenski was number 2 last year, and I think he's around plus 1,200 or so. But man,
what?
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
What have we not covered here?
Coach of the year.
Richard.
Oh, Matthews.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bounce back year for Matthews.
Absolutely. 200 goals coming.
200.
What about Pasta at plus 1,200?
I can't do it because if he gets traded and he doesn't have chemistry at the new team, it ruins it. There's just too much.
Any interest in McDavid at plus 1,600 here?
Yes.
No, but I would rather just take his goals, his over on goals, whatever it is, or take 30 goals plus because he had such a down year for shooting and goal scoring. But
I think he was like plus 39.5 or something, or sorry, what was over under was 39.5 goals, which I also think is a pretty easy over.
Yeah.
Art Ross. How do you not pick McDavid? It says if he's healthy.
Yeah. I'd rather wait to see if he gets injured and then bet against it.
Coach of the year. I spoke about this earlier. I liked Adam Foote's odds there, plus 2,500. Anyone else you see there that you like?
I have a ticket for Tournier for Utah, and then I was on a show. It's so easy to want to go for the team who hasn't made the playoffs in years narrative here. I had to look back. I don't think we've seen a team that hasn't made the playoffs for like 5 to 8 years or so have a coach win Jack Adams since Patrick Roy in 2013 for Colorado. Every coach of the year is a President Trophy or just a very complete team. Give me Berube. The narrative is perfect.
Plus
you lost 100. You lost 100-point player. The odds are stacked against you to be as good, if not better, than the previous year. The best team in the division lost their best player. You could win the division. You could be right up there at the President's Trophy race. Give me Berube.
This is crazy to me. All the best teams' coaches have the highest odds. And if what you're saying is true, it's usually a top team's coach that gets it. Carberry, 7,500. Cassidy, 6,000. Galutsin, 6,000. Maurice, 5,500. Berube, plus 5,000. Brindamore, plus 4,500. Allblock, plus 4,000. O'Neill, plus 3,500. These are all the best teams. You can bet all of them. You can bet all of them and win.
Rocco, Carberry's not going to win again.
Okay, great. But my point is all the best teams have the highest odds.
But Gulitsin's not going to, even if Dallas is sick, he's not going to win because the team's good.
Yeah. I'd agree. There's
it's kind of the same with Bruce Cassidy, right? Like the team's already.
I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can. Carberry won last year with the Capitals, and that would actually go against your argument for Dallas. Tocchet the year before, President's Trophy team. It's not like Vancouver missed the playoffs for a decade before that, though. Sorry, my dog is swanning in the room real bad. Jim Montgomery for Boston, best NHL season of all time. How could you not give it to him? Daryl Suter for the Flames the year before that. This is the Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk season. So this is not. I mean, they were in the playoffs before that. This is not like they had been missing it for 8 years and then they made it. Rod Brind'Amour for the Hurricanes. That may be one of those situations they had missed it a little bit before. 2020 seems like they had probably already made it, though. Bruce Cassidy for Bruins. I mean, Bruins make it every freaking year. Barry Trotz for the Islanders. Gerald Gallant for the Vegas Golden Knights. Tortorella for Columbus. Barry Trotz again for the Capitals. Hartley for the Flames. And then we get to Patrick Roy for Colorado.
So one I wanted to mention here, just kind of like the Craig Berube, I guess this is going to be my last point on this one. I mean, Paul Maurice, and I'm going to say that I know they've won the Cup twice. Their best, best players are hurt.
I like this.
Their two best players are hurt. If they win that division, does he get consideration?
Even if he doesn't win the division and they're really good.
Yeah, like they're a 100
like that
team. I think
he navigated it.
Yeah,
I like that.
Think there's an option.
He's never won it.
Yeah,
he's never won it.
Nope. Oh, really? He's got 2 Stanley Cups. He's never won Coach of the Year, a narrative-based award. He's got the injuries to quote-unquote overcome, and he's 55-1. I think we have found maybe the best value, the best value bet that we've talked about fucking all night long.
I think so.
Just for reference, we'll write down some of the great value bets that we have mentioned here tonight and enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the free money.
Yeah. Because again, it's so easy to be like, that team didn't make the playoffs for so long. If they make the playoffs, that coach wins. And you look back and it's not that case. Like,
it's hilarious.
Go through the list of winners. It's none of these coaches are winning it after them missing the playoffs for 5+ years. Outside
of these, all the teams that have their coaches with awful odds, the Florida's, Carolina, all the top teams, their GMs are all the lowest odds for GM of the year. Make it make sense.
Yep.
Can I just say something on the Coach of the Year stuff? Martin St. Louis, like plus 1,100, awful odds. That's awful. Yeah. Don't bet that. Yeah. Even if you think that the Habs are going to be good, don't bet that.
Unless you think they win the division. Unless you think they can win the division.
Wow, they're not going to.
I don't.
They're not going to.
GM of the year. Who do we got? Bill Zito, Eric Tulsky, Kelly McCrimmon, Stan Bowman, McFarland in Colorado, Jim Nill in Dallas, Brisebois, Tampa Bay, Kenny Holland in LA for living in Toronto, Tommy Fitzgerald in New Jersey at plus 2,200.
Won't make this bet until the season gets going. I mean, yeah, you don't know what they're doing yet. So
fair enough. Geez. I think that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap here. So thank you so much.
We went through every type of odds that we could.
Every team and every award.
For every degenerate gambler out there who likes NHL hockey, tune in because you will see what we think is going to be a winner. And if you haven't noticed, we're great. At least I know I am great at gambling. So definitely.
Yeah. And on that note, I will say, since we are talking about betting, please play responsibly. Please play well within your limits. It can ruin people. So don't let it do that to you. Have fun with it. Play something you're comfortable with and have fun. And don't take our advice too seriously. We got one expert in the house. I don't claim to be one. I'll
definitely go on a limb here. I'm not an expert. I just am very opinionated. Go with Betsky. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, and even still, you bet a beer on a ticket, then you drink one less. Even it out.
Yeah. Fair enough. So with all that in mind, this has been a ton of fun. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a while in the making. We've been trying to coordinate to get this together. So I'm glad that it worked out right as a season is about to get rolling. Kind of perfect timing when you think about it. So Betskys on X, Twitter. There's too many Z's and S's. I keep fucking it up when I say it, but we'll put the Twitter handle back up here. Give him a follow if you're a fan of his. Give us a follow as well, boys.
Yeah, that was fun, boys. That was great.
I wish everyone luck in their bets.
Sens.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
Go Sens.
Yeah,
Go
Sens.
Sens. Division 800.
700.
Hammer the Sens and Paul Maurice. That's the main takeaway here. Okay, thanks, guys. Let's call this a night. We'll talk to you soon.